Hello viewers and welcome to
Hello everybody, welcome back to FusioCraft. I've been a little busy, I'm still working up the mountain here. Pretty much all I've been doing between episodes is just building up this thing. I took down the original high point that I was thinking about, and the new high point, not only is it higher, but yep, it's a little bit over here. Look at this. Look at this big flat area I can build on up here. This area is going to be great. This is the perfect building platform. I cannot wait to flesh this area out. Boop. Ever placing the land. Just every time I see something that looks a little off, I go in and fix it. Like, I need to put another block up there. And done. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of fall damage building this thing, so I'm really glad for feather falling. I would say, from the air, this thing looks... It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I'm kind of looking at the back shell of it right now, so let me get on this side. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And now that I'm really fleshing out that high point, it looks really cool from down here in town. Would you look at that? Now that is a big high point. Now that I'm down here, I feel like I could widen it a little bit on the sides, so I'm gonna look into that. But as you're walking down here, it really gives you something out there to look towards. I don't remember the name of that visual effect, but the one where the object's way far away moves slower when it's back there. It's big enough and far enough away where I'm really getting that sense. You can tell the magnitude of this thing just by how little it moves in the background. And I've decided, this episode, it's time. I've been using this building so much. I really need to finally give this place a good interior. I have been looking at this ugly, unfinished interior for so long because I'm in here grinding out so much moss. So this episode, that is definitely a priority. Another thing I want to do, a little smaller thing, is I got a comment suggesting that I should change up some of the blocks here to divide up the library wall. And I think that's a great idea. Now that it's way more opened up, there's a lot more of just a flat face of white concrete. I've been using block mixtures for shading a lot, but I need to start using it more for just general texturing. And this is a good surface to try some things out with, especially considering one of the most apt blocks for the job is calcite. Wouldn't it be nice to put some more calcite in Calcite Cove? The antique store is one of the only builds that does. So I think this is a really good idea, and I'm gonna go grind that out right now. And done. Yes, I agree. That was a really good upgrade to this building. I got bits and pieces of calcite in there, kind of bricked in. And diorite is a very good bridging block between the clay and the white concrete. A good, simple change. This building looks just that much better. And while looking at it, I decided it needed a little more life. So now I've got some flower pots down here. Something about the walls being a little more rugged made me think, you know, I need to work some plants into this. So there we go. Once again, that library looks so much better than before. Now I really need to turn my attention to the moss factory. Let me just fly on down here and think for a second. One thing I really want in this factory is suspended iron walkways. I'm thinking a lot of iron trapdoors, and then in the middle here, I could make like a big copper boiler looking thing. And then, since this is the factory producing a lot of plants, I want it to be a little overgrown inside here, and I think that's gonna look really nice. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm really excited. Why did I hold this off since July? It's already November. 4 months later, I'm finally doing it. Let's go. Mwah! It is glorious in here now. Look at all that I have done. Look at all the overgrowth on the sides. The actual walls in place. The metal walkways up there. The pipes going all the way to the ceiling. The chains. All the moss has gone rampant and it's just plowing through this factory, growing everywhere. Some caution markings around the lichen machine. And the lichen, speaking of, has grown everywhere as well, offering some really good, dim, moody lighting in here. Which is especially cool because when this machine is on, you constantly get the flashes of light from the lava. So it's kind of like... It makes it feel even more industrial, like you're in an actual factory. Especially also with all the moss particles that rain down on you. This is simply the way the farm works, and yet it works so well with making this place aesthetically just immersive. I'm liking the central boiler here. This is now like a really cool way to have this bend in the pipe that goes up. There's still a lot of things that I need to tidy up. This entire right side of the factory, I kind of don't know what to do with, because I feel like I want there to be a little more farms over here. Let me go up onto my new metal walkways up here. We got a walkway that goes over here, which is a really good spot to check. on how much bone meal I've got in the machine. Also for when there's some cobblestone because I forget to turn it off and I leave the chunks. So that's an easy way to come up here and get that cobblestone out of there. Ooh, and I really like sitting up here and watching the bone meal go through this pipe. Then you go up to this walkway, even higher up, and this is an area where I think I can squeeze a few more farms. A pumpkin melon farm, perhaps? That's something I don't have yet, and it would fit in this space quite nicely. So, okay, while I admit I'm not finished decorating this place, I have finished the side that is actually already full of farms. Also worth noting, I put 5 spore blossoms in here because I really wanted this place to feel all super overgrown and like there's plant life just growing all around you. So yeah, just one of these things making particles, not enough. Multiply that by 5. This place is finally starting to come out awesome. It's looking just as cool as it is functional. It all feels like it's really coming together. And all the overgrowth on the side really ties in with the theme of all the compaction of all the different farms in here. I almost feel like I should have some sugarcane and cactus growing in certain places, just, you know, to fit in with the theme. But yeah, it's coming out really great so far. There's still more to do. That'll be for another day, whenever I decide to put in those other farms. But finally, I can generate the moss that I'm using for this mountain and be able to look around and go, ah, this place is awesome. I'm not just sitting around in some unfinished dirt pile. This is actually really cool. This mountain grind is a grind for sure. I'm getting kind of tired of it. I'm continuing to shape the peak down. A lot of work happening on this side of it, but oh my gosh, it's so much moss placing. It is so much going up and down and up and down. And then it's a little hard to figure out what I want to do with this side. I know this is going to be another big open area that I can build on. You can see here it's going to go in this little canyon of sorts, which is going to be really cool when it's all decorated. And it's going to connect these two flat areas. And honestly, this might be the smaller flat area by the time it's installed. This is the one that's going to be on that overhang. The cliff that goes kind of over the land a little bit. And I've placed a little bit of moss here just to kind of give myself an idea of how it's going to go. It's going to be difficult because shaping it from the underside, that's going to involve a lot of scaffolding. So this backside is daunting. This backside is like a whole nother project. Like this section is probably going to take me just as long as everything else that I've done so far. Like this part was the easy part. Building up and being on top of the thing that you're shaping, easy. But the thing you're shaping being above you? Yeah. So you know what? I say it's time. I really want to start putting in some texture already. I do not have a lot of packed mud. Gonna have to grind out way more of that. But I'm thinking packed mud. Oh, definitely rooted dirt. Let me just scoop up as much calcite as possible. Grass, of course. I've already been talking a lot about how moss is like the best thing to terraform with, and I'm about to show you another one of those reasons. Check this out. Bam! It's that easy. It's that easy. Soon as you enter the texturing mode, punching it out is not a problem at all. I could be using the hoe to kind of get this out of my inventory. Okay, the podzol, that's my own thing. That's my own issue. Not as fast, but it is demonstrating how much faster the moss is. But using a hoe to speed this up it probably would just slow you down. The amount of switching back and forth in your toolbar, or again, if you're offhanding, the amount of refueling your offhand. If I had more packed mud than this, then I could just demonstrate, you know, I could just tap the middle mouse button and boom, if my inventory is full of this stuff, it's that simple, and I just continue. But yeah, with moss, easy peasy texturing. And as you can see, this is going to be the main block I'm going to use for this path. Packed mud is like one of my favorite path blocks now. And look at how great this path is going to be. There's going to be some rooted dirt on the sides because if you ask me, rooted dirt is just coarse dirt, but better. Coarse dirt is just too dark and unfriendly looking. This has got a really, really nice texture, and it also really helps with the packed mud because it's got a lot of the same colors. So it's better blending as well. So my thinking behind the texturing that I'm gonna do for this entire mountain is to just focus on the parts that I know. There are some unknowns with this texturing that I still have to get to eventually. Oops, this was a mistake putting this in the middle of the path, but I think it looks good like that. Maybe I should put in a little more in the middle. But like, I know that the paths are going to use these blocks, and I also know that these sharp peaks on the mountain are going to be calcite, carrying over the Calcite Cove theme, and the tiny little calcite spikes in town are going to just feel that much more in place in the world when you've got these much larger ones along the mountain. And just like that, Oh, it's giving me a sense of how this whole thing's gonna start coming out. I want to have a few block layers that kind of transition from the calcite to the normal soil and everything. So that's one of the things that's a little bit of a mystery. I'm thinking I might bring in a few normal rocks like andesite to kind of tie it all together, and it would also shade it nicely. Yeah, I'm thinking if the tippy top is calcite, then having a few blocks kind of make a big gradient. Not only would a gradient up to the pure brightness of calcite look cool, but like that could be a good way to bring in more color into the mountain. So yeah, I'm gonna start fleshing out the texturing of this path, of some of the calcite around here. Not only is that going to require a whole lot of packed mud generating, ooh, that's not going to be fun. I really need to make a mud farm already. But that's also going to involve me flying around looking for some more azalea trees to get a bunch of rooted dirt. So, time to texture away, grind away, adventure away, the whole shebang. I've gone ahead and I've done the easy part first, and that is the calcite spikes, wherever the land super spikes up. And in a few places, I kind of introduced a new spike, and I'm going to have to do that a lot more on this side. Right now, not a lot of opportunities over here, other than this one. So I'm going to have to do a little more shaping over here. The mountain is only going to become that much more interesting, shape-wise, when I start texturing, because it's going to introduce new opportunities for me, new ideas. I haven't done anything to the peak yet because I'm still kind of going around that and shaping it, and I don't want to mess with that yet, put any permanent blocks in. Let's see if Mike did anything new. Oh, yep. New building right here. Since I'm in the area, let's check this out. Okay. So, a new kind of alleyway section. This is cool. Bert and Ernie house. Bert and Ernie house. Please scream. Okay, so the next big thing, the next easy thing to do is get a bunch of rooted dirt. So all I have to do is find some azalea trees and boom, I've got probably more than a shulker box. Ooh, I be lagging with all the new chunks being loaded into this mod, but I found 2 trees up here. Let's see if I've already dug into these. Aw, yeah, baby. Rooted dirt for days. See, it's a good thing that they made it so plentiful under these trees, because manually harvesting this stuff by growing a bunch of trees yourself, really annoying because you only get 1 per tree. Only 3 stacks though under this tree. Pretty shallow one. The previous one I went to had like a whole ton. Yep, I've already hit Lush Cave. But you know what? While I'm here, I do still need a brown axolotl. And small drip leaves, one of the best decorative plant blocks ever. And I believe they're non-renewable, so I need to get them whenever I'm here. Wandering traders can trade for them, but they don't trade enough. You know, now that I think about it, I may use a lot of these drip leaves on the mountain, because that's how good they look. Which is making me think maybe I should install a few ponds. I should install a bit of water to the mountain. Oh, I'm figuring something out right here, right now. So that big area in the back that I still have yet to complete, maybe I should have some sort of waterway back there. And then there will be a waterfall coming off the side of that big cliff. So it's already going to be cool having that cliff kind of overhang over the land, but then having a waterfall come off of that as well makes it just like infinitely more cooler. You know what I think I learned today? It's actually a good thing to start texturing a big terraforming project that you're not fully done shaping, so long as you're done with a certain area and you know that you're not going to mess anything up in that area. Starting the texturing process in a section of your big terraforming of whatever you're doing that you know you're done shaping is a good way to breed new inspiration for the rest of that shaping. That's what I'm finding, and I can go back and I can kind of alter some of the areas in front of my mountain as well, because a lot of these ideas that I'm having right now will definitely carry over. But I'm a creep. Oh, you saw nothing and there was never a tree there. Okay, we got another tree right here, baby. That one was also pretty shallow. Now I'm up to basically just, what, 5.5 and some other goodies here and there. But guess what I just found? Boom, baby. Finally, I've got all the axolotl colors except for the super rare blue one that you have to breed for like 1,000,000 hours. Oh, and I can fly again. For some reason, this was like a no-fly zone for a while, and I was like put on a no-fly list. So yeah, I'm gonna keep flying around, loading in chunks into this mod, while also looking for rooted dirt. Brown axolotl secured. Now I have all of them except for the blue one, and they're kind of just standing over there. What are they plotting? What are they plotting? They've been doing that for so long. He's probably gonna join them in whatever cult that they're forming. I've been putting water buckets up there. I think everything's water sourced. It has something to do with the AI, perhaps, if they just want to go to that corner. Anyways, I got an entire shulker box of rooted dirt now, so that's good. Now we move on to the worst step. I probably shouldn't say worst because this is actually going to really help Barreleye Bay. I need a mud farm, so it's about time that I finally finish these buildings. It seems as though when I'm building a farm-centric build, it tends to not actually get completed until I really need it, huh? As soon as I need moss, I finally decorate the inside of that factory, and as soon as I need a ton of mud, a ton of packed mud, I finally start to deal with this one. The location of this factory is very convenient considering the warehouse that is going to be full of a lot of dirt is going to be right over here. So I can just pull the dirt out of some of these chests and I can turn that into mud. So there might be an inside connection right here. There might be a doorway that connects these buildings because if I do that, why would I run around every single time? The other component to packed mud, though, is wheat. And I don't know, I kind of don't want to bring villagers over here, but I feel like it's finally time to set up an auto wheat farm, which involves setting up a farmer, having him toss some wheat to some villagers, but it actually just getting sucked up into a hopper. So yeah, I guess let's dig this place out and start placing down the farms.
Thanks anyway.
I'm glitching so hard. I'm in the ground. Oh my god, this... This looks so funny. I'm not planking. What's it called? Where I'm... like bending forwards. What is this? Hello, audience. There... Oh! Ow! Do you see me
Check out this
looking
fucking...
all weird? Oh my
No.
god. Oh my god, this is cursed.
You're just walking around really slowly, looking up, but like you're sightseeing.
Oh my god, this is so fucking weird. It's like I'm slowly walking forward, but I'm super leaning forwards at the same time.
Oh, are you like still in flight mode?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. I
took
just
my
stay in
wings
flight
off,
mode.
and I'm still doing it. Usually taking my wings off stops it.
Holy fuck, you're jumping like moon gravity. wait. Jump and let me hit you.
Oh my god.
And you put a right foot here, you put a left foot there.
This is so stupid looking. Oh no! Oh no, I'm back to normal! Well, now that I'm normal again, check it out. It's Trans Turtle Celebration. I mean, Trans Turtle Destination.
We already have a few transgenders in here.
We're raising a bunch of trans turtles.
We're raising the liberal left.
The heads of their ancestors watch over them.
Here you go, have a scoot. This is currency on Sesame Street.
Money!
I found out about Big Bird in China today. It's so awesome.
His head came off. How did you get in here? This must just be one of the ones that wandered off? And maybe it got in here because there's a jukebox? Is that what you're in here for? Because that's what it seems like. I guess I got a new roommate. Please, make yourself at home. I need to spend more time in this house. I may revamp it a little bit later. So, a lot of things happened yesterday. One of them is I finally got the torches off of a lot of these buildings and I replaced it with lichen. Because, you know, I've got a lichen farm now. It's easy and it makes it all look so much better than just a bunch of torch spam. Not a perfect fix for the buildings where lichen kind of really stands out on, like on the theater, but better than torches. So in here, I've installed a furnace floor. And I got rid of these dudes' crossbows. They're gonna be working for me soon enough. I finally carried over what I started up there on top. And I revamped the pillars. They used to be basalt, and the edges were just a continuation of the copper. But I felt like the basalt just wasn't giving enough contrast, and I think this makes it stand out way more. And compared to the buildings around it, having these side pillars be all copper just felt like I was encasing in just way too much. So I think I got a good thing going here. And this is going to be where I have a bunch of these non-plant related farms. Stone/cobblestone generator, mud generator, somewhere to place a bunch of mud to turn it into clay, somewhere to cook that clay into terracotta. All those new soil conversion mechanics that have recently come into the game. Very, very apt for this building. So I'll continue this later, but I've built it up enough where I can kind of get a sense of where I may want to put this mud farm. And as cool as this whole area is, I'm honestly thinking it would be better to put it over in this section right here, because it would be that much closer to where I'm getting the dirt from. So this may be the mud area, this may be the mud to clay area. Maybe in here is where I'll have the auto wheat farm, and I'll have the cobblestone generator and everything else. It's also gonna look really cool with the things I have planned, but that'll come for another day. Farms first. Well, look at that little guy. It's in place. Okay, this thing is actually kind of resource intensive just because of the amount of glass that you need for all of the bottles. These things have to be filled. So it's a good thing we got all the infrastructure for that. You know, the librarian trading hall, I can get all my glass there. Evidently, not an early game farm. But I believe all you really have to do here, it would be good if I actually got the dirt first. All I have to do, and I really hope that this shovel isn't too fast, is just... Oh. I just broke the glass, oh no! I guess I should put a block there that's a little more solid. There we go. Let's try that again. So, I don't think I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, the shovel's too fast. Way too fast. So I'm gonna make an unenchanted iron shovel. And I guess I'm doing something else wrong because all the water bottles are ending up in my inventory. I'm looking back at Ilmango's design and I don't think I did anything wrong. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Ilmango yet again. Maybe I just have to stand a little further back. Okay, I think it's working. So this fixes the mud component of packed mud problem, but it doesn't fix the wheat component. Fortunately for me, I've got a bit of wheat saved up already because I knew that eventually I'd probably want to use a ton of it. Blocks are flying everywhere too, so definitely when I make this place prettier, I'm gonna have to kind of confine this one a little more. And just like that, we got stacks of mud here, and if I did this manually, this would have taken me like maybe 5 times longer. And it would have had me right-clicking a million times, which is not good for my hands in the long run. Here we are, my wheat stash, and now to make packed mud, my beloved. So, now I'm rolling in all the materials that I so far need to texture this mountain. And I'm also absolutely loving the fact that in trying to build up this mountain and take time away from Barreleye Bay, it has caused me to come back and actually get the inspiration to finish a few things around here. Who knew taking a step back and focusing on something else would actually just come back around and help me with the things that I've been neglecting there. So I got a lot more texturing to do, and I think this is where I'm going to keep it for this episode. I'm going to be working out a ton of the texturing in between episodes, but thank you for watching, everyone. Mossy Mountain is really taking shape. And now it's gonna start being colored the way I want it to as well. It's not all gonna be moss. This has been Qualia Quartz. See you next time when I continue to grind out this mountain and I inadvertently continue to grind out Barreleye Bay as well. These dudes about to be employed and there's nothing they can do about it. Who's ready to work horrible, agonizing shifts? Aw yeah.